When the moon would rise, I'd close my eyes and dream of you and me. And tomorrow's when I dream again, and in my dreams I'd see we fly away to a wondrous brand new day, and we'll sail up there so high.
Good morning and welcome to Rise Above the Noise. This is Doc. I hope your week has been amazing, and I hope that some of the things that we've been sharing with you have impacted you on some positive level. And so with that being said, this morning I wanted to go over a couple things with you because I'm really big person on words. So the first word I'd like for you to remember, I told you that you were beautifully and wonderfully made. And so the word beautiful is not for me. It's not a word of aesthetics. It means exciting. It means you bring, for me, and what I'm saying to you, it means you bring me joy to see you. And so there are a lot of people who are beautiful. It doesn't mean that you are aesthetically. It's not about that. It's about what you provide someone else. And so I can say honestly that you are beautifully and wonderfully made. You bring value. You are exciting, especially when you know who you are and you live in the fullness of who you are. And I've talked to you guys about the word heart, that you have to have a change of heart. You have to make a decision. And as you know, your heart doesn't have emotions. The word heart literally means, in the concept that we're talking about, mind or understanding. And so I want to say to some of you that your heart is amazing. Your mind is amazing. And you should allow more people to have the opportunity to experience the wonderful things called you. The next thing that I'd like to tell you today is some of you are so sincere. You wear your feelings on your sleeves, and you just are what you are. You don't have any ill feelings or ill motives. You just want to be loved and you want to give love to people. And so because of that, I want to remind you of something that's very simple. Don't mistake someone's sincerity for honesty. There are a lot of people who appear to be sincere, but their motivations aren't earnest. They're not honest. And you have to guard against that. It's very sad to say that, but you have to guard against people who have agendas or motivations. Now, that doesn't mean that you shut everybody down, but it also means that you don't give everyone the benefit of the doubt when they present themselves to you. I would like for you to begin to understand that you must learn how to make the best out of every circumstance. And what I mean by that is it's easy to allow something to overwhelm you or to allow something to cause you to want to give up. But if you recall what we talked about last week, remember your problems are like the sun. On one day they're going to be shining, and at the end of the day they're going to go dark, right? They don't last forever. So try to make the best out of your circumstances. Try to find, maybe you can't always find the good. And by the way, when I say good, I want you to have this context with me. When I say good, I mean benefit. Find the good, find the benefit in the things that seem or were intended to make you, one, fail or feel bad about yourself. Whatever the ill agenda was, find the benefit. Well, what could be a benefit? The benefit could be that I no longer give you the authority to hurt me with your words. I no longer give you the authority to walk into my life and create confusion by just being present. I no longer give you the right to manipulate my emotions. There's no benefit in that. So the good for me is that I identify it for what it is. And do you remember what I said a couple weeks ago? Don't evaluate your enemy by their intentions. Evaluate them by what? Their success. So just because someone intends to do something does not mean they can accomplish it unless you allow it. You have the ultimate choice. Either I can allow what you do to permeate and hurt me, or I can stop it by stopping you. Now that you're a champion, by the way, can I say to you that you are a champion? And when I say the word champion, here's what I mean. It means literally, it means that, well, let me back up and say it this way. When you and I use the word champion in our context today, right? When you say champion, you think of the World Series champion. You think of the NFL Super Bowl champion. You think of the NBA champion. But when I say champion, I mean that whenever you become present, the odds swing into your favor. That's a champion. That when I present myself, when you present yourself, the things and the characteristics about who you are, they change the playing field. Wouldn't it be nice to really accept that fact? It's kind of like being on a basketball team in junior high or elementary school, when you be on the playground and maybe you didn't look the part. And so you're looking to be chosen and you're the last person chosen because of your appearance, or they've made a determination you're too short or you're not fast enough, right? And for some people, that becomes the ability for them to find a reason to quit. And for other people, it becomes the reason and the motivation for them to become champions. That, listen, when you choose me, the game is going to change into our favor. Well, what does that simply mean? It simply means that whatever I invest my time into, whatever I invest my mind into, I intend for change in a positive manner to happen. You're a champion. You can make change for people by allowing them to see the beauty of your heart and the beauty of your decisions. You have the ability to change someone's life today by choosing not to let what someone else has done to you dissuade you from allowing someone else to get to know the champion in you. You're a champion. You are beautifully and you are wonderfully made. You have the ability to reconcile not just yourself, but reconcile other people to the ability to love themselves. By the way, I just used the word love. Can I say this to you in the context that you and I are talking? When I say the word love, I am not talking about an emotion. What I am talking about is a conscious decision. And that conscious decision simply means, this word love means inviting. I love me enough that I want to love you, meaning I love who I am and I want to invite you to know who I am. That becomes inviting to you. And because I want you to know, that means I'm willing to pour into you what I believe I have to offer. What do I have to offer? I'm a game changer. I'm a champion. You're a champion. You're a game changer. Things have to be different because you're there. You don't have to have the biggest name. You don't have to be the tallest person. You don't have to be the fastest person. You don't have to be the smartest person. You just have to be the best you that there is. And when you do that, you will change the life of people. Why? Because you're a champion. You are a champion. Can I ask you this morning to not allow doubt to prevent you from growing? Not allow doubt. Don't you allow doubt to prevent you from growing. Don't you allow bad decisions to dictate what you are. You are a human. Human beings make bad decisions. The bad decision doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you're bad. You made a bad decision. So the way you correct a bad decision is you correct the bad decision. I made a bad decision. I embrace the fact that I made a bad decision, and now I'm going to correct it. But how many of us have made a bad decision and we've allowed it to crumble us? Don't give the enemy the ability to prevent you from growing. You say, who is the enemy? Can I tell you my definition of an enemy? My definition of an enemy is someone who's not my friend. So guess what? That means you yourself can be your own worst enemy. Because how many times have you and I been in a position that we have made decisions about ourselves that an enemy would make? We have created self-inflicted wounds, right? Because we have become our own worst enemy. Now that we know that we can become our own worst enemy, I'd like to challenge you to do this. Become more consistent in expecting the best from yourself. Become more consistent in becoming and expecting the best of yourself. You have the ability to change things. And can I give you 2 ways that can happen? It can happen by contemplation and it can happen by doubt. Both have different outcomes. Contemplation allows you the ability to consider the information that's available to you in its totality as you prepare to make a decision. Doubt infers that you've pretty much concluded the outcome or your decision about whatever it is that you're facing. So I'd like for you to stop, if this is you, stop being a doubting Thomas. Stop being a naysayer. And at least give yourself the opportunity to contemplate things before you make a decision. Now, having said that, if anyone pushes you to make a decision rapidly, walk away. There's no decision that you have to make that you shouldn't have the opportunity to contemplate what it means, to figure out in your mind or conclude in your own mind what that should look like. That's different than speculation. Speculation then infers that there's no information available to you to allow you or help you to make a decision. And in most cases, it's not speculation that we are using, right? But we make it speculative. We have information, and maybe you haven't done it, but I know I have. I've had information, and then I added to the information. Now, here's how you know you're speculating. What if? Whenever you say what if, you're speculating. Take the speculation out of it and move to a safer zone called contemplation. Contemplation gives the ability to take all of the information that's available to you, in my words, in its totality, and then gives you the ability to make the best decision for you. Now, you are beautifully and wonderfully made. You have the ability to contemplate things and not walk around as a doubter. You need to learn how to be consistent. Part of consistency goes back to what we talked about previously, right? Meaning, I can't be consistent if I don't allow myself to know who I am, to be consistent at being me. And that's an evolving process. But you have to be motivated to be consistent. And one of the reasons why you and I should be motivated is because someone else is watching. Your story is being written in front of someone. And how they receive it is directly correlated to how you go through it. So I know that you're a champion. Yes, absolutely, you're a champion. I know that you're beautiful. You bring excitement when you want to into everything that you do. But more importantly, you have the ability to bring healing to yourself and to others. Well, what do you mean by healing? In other words, you have the ability to help people become whole by being the best you that you can be. Well, what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is the things that you bring will bring completeness to someone who's lacking what you have. You are amazing, and you make people complete. You've heard people say, you complete me. Well, can I argue with you? How can you complete me if I don't admit that I have a deficiency? You can't complete me unless I admit it, that you accept the fact that we all are deficient. And we are. We're all deficient in our own ways. Some of us are quick to get angry. Some of us take forever to get angry. Some of us are very spontaneous. Some of us are very standoffish about making decisions without taking time to do them. Some of us are rowdy or outgoing, and others of us are reserved. But together, in balance, that creates completeness. So as we prepare to move to the next level, I want to say this to you. Take time this week to find out how you can be more consistent. Find out what motivates you. Allow people to see the beauty of who you are. But most importantly, starting today, you lift your head up and you walk in an upright position, knowing that no matter who you are, no matter where you've been, no matter where you come from, you have the ability to be a champion. And not only do you have the ability to be a champion, you will be a champion. Things will move in your direction simply because you choose to see yourself differently. So to every champion listening, we'll see you next week.